On this episode of my so-called podcast, we're going back to September 19th, 1997.
We're going to talk about Cornershop's When I Was Born for the Seventh Time and In and Out from director Frank Oz.
Welcome to my so-called podcast. I'm Eric Spiegel.
And with you is Gary Linton.
Yeah!
Yeah, trying to jazz it up a little bit.
My so-called podcast is a bi-weekly podcast, during which we go back to a week in the 90s, review a film and an album that were released said week.
Ah, yes, that's what we do this week. We're going to go back to September 19th, 1997. September 19th. 1997.
He has missed 9 days.
Yeah, that's a lot of nines. Nines are wild.
So we got Cornershop.
Yep.
We got In and Out.
In and Out. The
burger.
Old In and Out.
I'll have mine with cheese.
Yep.
I'll have mine, what is it, animal style.
I don't know. I've never eaten In and Out. Hey, this isn't a burger podcast, so let's not talk about burgers, okay?
But I'm pretty hungry. I skipped dinner.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Although In-N-Out Burger is not what I'm craving.
Okay.
I've got this big soda.
That's a big soda.
It's a diet soda. Stop judging me.
I didn't want to make you self-conscious about how big that soda was, so I didn't bring it up.
It's really big.
All right.
It's a Diet Coke, okay?
Okay. All right. But this isn't a soda podcast.
What's your favorite kind of fry, Gary?
Probably the French.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I myself am a freedom guy.
Oh, okay. No, I like a curly fry. A good curly fry.
You like the seasoned curly fry?
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it. Give it to me.
I like those.
Hey.
You ever go to rallies? They have a seasoned fry that I enjoy.
Hey, listeners, send us French fries.
Yeah, you can send us French fries to 123 Nevermind Street.
Oh, Nirvana! You're a big Nirvana head.
So Gary.
Yeah, we like to.
1996.
Yeah, we like to get to 97.
Are you sure?
Yeah, September 19th, 1997.
You're right.
Yep. We'd like to do some trivia in order to get the
juices flowing.
Yeah, get those memories of like, oh, what was going on in 1997?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we were probably in college, you know.
You and I were not together.
We were in college, and all this
all that glitters is gold
stuff was coming out. This movie.
Yep.
Well, we were sophomore year, so we were back for about a month.
Oh,
from being home.
Yeah.
What'd you do that first summer after freshman year of college?
I brooded.
Oh,
that's what I was going for.
Is that how bros brood?
Exactly.
They brood.
Brood.
They're like, shut up. Ugh.
Check out these guns.
Football is almost over.
Exactly.
My life is so hard. Actually, football just started. Bros should be super
happy.
They
were happy in September, but you were asking about that first summer.
Oh, yeah.
Football's
so long until two-a-days.
When's football going to start?
Broad. Gary, trivia has been going your way for quite some time.
Yeah, I did it my way.
Yeah. If I can
turn back time,
make it there. You have 13, I have 9.
Okay.
That means
unlucky number 13.
That means that you'll ask me first,
okay.
I guess.
I will do that. Take that, listener. What incomprehensible blaxploitation hero was spawned by the Chris Rock show?
I would say that it's that movie that has originally was created by Louis C.K. With Chris Rock. I guess Louis C.K. worked on the Chris Rock show.
He did. Yep.
And so I would say that it is not. It's not How to Be a Menace. It's
nope.
Pootie Tang.
Pootie Tang. That's correct. You're correct. Can I? Oh, there it is. Thank you.
Pootie Tang.
Pootie Tang. All right. You asked me a question.
What haunting exotic dancer did Chris Kattan portray on Saturday Night Live?
Oh, that was Mango.
That's right. Oh, my mango.
Yeah, I get what's Mr. And then Mr. Peepers was his other classic one where he was like a monkey that would chew up an apple.
But he was also a part of the Roxberries.
That's true. Yep.
He was on for a while.
Yeah. All right. What physician released a CD of original flute music titled "A Very Still Life"? What physician?
Still.
Yeah.
Is that a clue?
I think it might be. Released a CD of original flute music titled "A Very Still Life." Yes, it is a clue.
Still.
I did this because it was a CD, but I realize it's not quite in our wheelhouse of...
Stephen Stills?
No. Dr. You want me to tell you? Dr. Jack Kevorkian.
Oh.
What a morbid bastard.
Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
Flute music to die by.
Exactly.
What a strange person.
Yep.
You think that's in that De Niro movie or Pacino movie where he plays Kevorkian?
I don't know. I won't watch any Pacino anymore. Unless he's playing Michael Corleone, I'm not watching him.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, you watched Carlito's Way. You
Oh yeah,
okay
that
with
good
that.
stuff. That's good stuff.
Okay. What fashion doll icon underwent really rad plastic surgery to achieve a more lifelike profile?
I'm going to go with Barbie.
What does that question even mean?
I don't know, but we're going to go and keep it going with this is a doll podcast. What wheelchair-bound Mattel doll couldn't fit through the door of the Barbie dream house? I don't know. That was actually not a... I don't have that answer.
Sven?
You know what? I'm going to give it to you. I believe Becky is but it was Becky.
Okay.
Yeah.
What horror writer described his body of work as the literary equivalent of a Big Mac and fries?
I'm going to go with Stephen King. All right, yeah.
So did you get 3 right?
I got 3. Bam! Count
17.
them.
Did I get any right?
2, 3. Yeah, you got Sven. I gave that to you. And you got Pootie Tang.
Okay, 17 to 11.
All right.
All right.
Yep. You didn't get the Dr. Jack Kevorkian. That one.
Morbid bastard.
You kind of killed yourself on.
Right.
Oh, no.
Right.
I'm
feeling really bad about not winning trivia.
Yeah.
I need to hook up my machine to this suicide device.
Right.
Hook up my machine? Hook up my arm.
To the suicide machine. All right. That was the trivia. Now we'd like to set the tone of what was going on in the music world when Cornershop released When I Was Born for the 7th time. We're going to do... we tell you about the top 10 singles, but we're going to not do that this time. I think I'm going to talk about the albums, right? Yep. Oh, wait. Yeah, and so here are the top 10 albums that were released out the week.
So, yeah, Cornershop, they were in England.
Great Britain.
And they were looking across the pond at these Billboard top albums.
You know what? They actually could have fit in with these. So we got number 10, The Prodigy, with their album, The Fat of the Land.
And that was probably off the strength of Firestarter at the time.
I don't know. They got that Smack My B Up was running. That was kind of a hit, too.
I loved that song.
Yeah, I know you do. Because it's autobiographical.
Because I got smacked a lot.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. There it is. Number 9 that week was Oasis, Be Here Now.
Whoa, Be Here Now.
Yep.
What's your favorite song on that album?
Maybe Magic Pie.
I wouldn't even say that one jumps out to me.
Yeah. Maybe Do You Know What I Mean, actually. I did really enjoy Do You Know What I Mean.
I like Stand By Me.
Yeah.
Oh, Don't Go Away is my favorite.
Okay. All right. Number 8 that week was the soundtrack to the hit movie Men in Black.
Oh, yeah. Featuring... Can you name anything on that other than the title track?
Nope.
Let's see if we can get to it here.
Well, I'm gonna keep going.
No. Here,
because
raga.
We don't want to have our listener.
Pitbull, Back in Time. Black suits come and nod your head.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Go ahead.
All right, number 7, Matchbox 20, Yourself or Someone Like You.
Yeah, so I remember that summer. No. So, okay. I guess I'm not getting my Matchbox 20 right. So, that, they must have been dominant for a very long time.
Yeah.
Because... the summer of 98 was that was when
Smooth, right?
No, that was 99. It was one of the third or fourth singles off of that that album was out, and so they were on the album. They were on the radio just constantly for almost a year, I guess.
And that is why I didn't listen to the radio for a year.
The Real World. I wish the real world would just stop asking. That was on the radio all the time, or 3 a.m. I must be lonely.
Yeah.
That was all summer of 98.
Oh,
at this time it was the I wanna push you away.
Oh yeah, right.
So that was they were huge for a while.
Yeah. Number 6 was Spice Girls with their album Spice.
Not Spice World, which would be the following summer.
No, right, yep. Number 5 that week was Jewel, Pieces of You.
Which was also released
real long,
in the 80s.
That was a grower, not a shower.
Right.
Number 4 was Trisha Yearwood, Songbook, a collection of hits.
One of our blind spots on this podcast would be mainstream country music.
90s country music, yeah. Number 3 that week was The Dance by Fleetwood Mac.
So, what's that?
I think that was a live album that they came back. Remember, Fleetwood Mac got back together back in the late 90s?
I want to say that it's sort of like a sequel to what was their big hit? Rumors?
Yeah.
I want to say that they were dressed up like the Rumors cover.
I mean, kind of. Maybe Mick and Stevie. Yeah.
It's the Rumors cover again, right?
Well, the Rumors was just Mick and Stevie on it.
Well, isn't this picture kind of like... It must be a different album where they're dressed all like this.
I mean...
They're taking the same poses as another picture, I think.
Maybe. I don't know.
Wrong.
I don't know.
Write in and let us know. Oh, it is a live album.
Yep. That's what I thought. Number 2 is No Way Out, Puff Daddy and the Family. All right. Are you playing Fleetwood Mac?
You can go your own way.
Yeah. And then
how does No Way Out go? What's on that?
I don't know. I listened to Cornershops When I Was Born for the 7th time this week.
You don't know what's on
When
No
I Was
Way
Born
Out?
for the 7th time this week.
Diddy. That's got Been Around the World featuring Notorious.
Oh, okay.
B.I.G. What You Gonna Do? Pain. Can't Nobody Hold Me Down.
Oh, that was.
And I'll Be Missing You.
Yep. No wonder it was on number 2.
No wonder.
But number 1 that week was Ghetto D by Master P. Na 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 na.
So this was a thing that happened in the 90s that I don't know if we've remarked upon.
Okay.
But there was all these albums that would be in the top 10, and they would be ones with songs that you've heard on the radio or something your mom might buy or whatever, like this list of things.
Oh, yeah.
But then all of a sudden, a hip-hop artist would release a album, and it'd be number 1 for 1 week.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And then it would disappear off the
gone.
top 10.
Yeah, it doesn't not even on number 2 or
it would be number
3.
But
or
do you
number 4.
That? And it would be like artists. I knew who Master P was, but there'd be artists that would be like, whoa, it's their big album, and I'd never heard of them, but it was at number 1, and it would go away. They must have, like, people that are really big fans of rap must be, like, hardcore into the one guy or whatever.
Oh, right, yeah.
Ghetto D, does that make them say,
I don't know. I think that was later, honestly.
Oh, nope, it does.
Okay.
Wow. So that might have hung around for a while, because that was his song that everybody kind of knew, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
If fools run up wrong, think I'm knocking out some teeth. I'm down here slanging, rolling with these hustlers. Trying to get rid of all you haters and you busters. Stepping on code, breaking niggas' nose. In the project, bigger than the thing goes. Breaking fools all
Yeah,
I just want to get to the chorus.
Yeah.
Pass me the doja. Make them say,
Na 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 na, na 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 na. Make them say, Na 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 na.
It's good stuff. So, yeah, Master P.
Master P makes me feel like my
think
dad from the 90s, because if that were on the radio, he'd be like, what is this?
That's right, yeah. I think he's a poet laureate these days.
Right, yeah. I remember he spoke at Trump's inauguration.
Exactly. Like Maya Angelou did. All right. So you got you're gonna kick off our conversation with for Cornershops When I Was Born for the 7th time.
All right. So Cornershop is a band of United Kingdom folks.
Okay.
That are of mostly Indian descent, or somebody major in the band is.
Yeah, the main. So
that's my either or.
The main songwriter is of Indian descent, or Pakistani. I'm not sure. I don't mean to be, but yeah, one of those.
No, I think
you're right. You're right. He's an Indian.
Tinder Singh.
Yeah.
Right.
And his brother was in the band, but he wasn't on When I Was Born for the 7th time.
I see. So anyway, they had this song, Brimful of Asha. That's how I was familiar with them.
That was a pretty big hit amongst the college crowd in 97.
120 minutes.
Yep. I don't know if it didn't get much mainstream, I don't think, but
it seemed like a big hit to me.
Okay. And I think that's where I'm saying it was not to derail you, but amongst our age group, it was a big hit. I don't think.
So, my either or is very specific.
Okay.
You have listened to this whole album how many times?
Countless.
Countless times.
Yep.
So that probably already feeds into what I think your answer would be. I say to you, you're working at a record store in 97.
Yes.
I say to you, I like Brimful of Asha.
Uh-huh.
Should I buy this album?
Oh, yeah.
you either say yes or no.
Right, yeah. I think I
and
would
either
say,
you say, okay, so you say yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna piggyback.
Keep it going. Let's keep this conversation going. This is what
Either you say yes, buy it, you should buy it, period, or yes, you should buy it, but you need to know. ...
Well, I think if I know anything about record store employees, is they don't shut up. So I would say yes, buy it, because that's a great song, and there are many other great songs, but it's not all brimful of Asha. Mm-hmm. There's definitely they got other things like let me pull it up here. I gotta get off of Master P. I had that pulled up. So we were listening to this week at my household, at Lenton household, and my 10-year-old when the Light Appears, Boy, or It's Indian Tobacco, My Friend. When those songs were playing, he was like, "This is kind of weird. It's just this over and over again." Mm-hmm. And I think that those kinds of songs would cause somebody who just went for Brimful of Asha to pause. But Sleep on the Left Side, Funky Days Are Back Again.
That song is terrible.
Funky Days Are Back Again?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He just says Funky Days Are Back Again.
Right. But I think it's kind of, he just says Brimful of Asha a lot.
Well, that's the chorus.
Right. So, good explicitive.
So there's what I would call songs,
yeah,
on this album, and there are other pieces of music that I would not call songs.
Well,
and I would also call them filler.
Okay, sure.
And so if you take out the filler, you've got Sleep on the Left Side, Brimful of Asher, Funky Days.
Mm-hmm.
Good to be on the road back home.
Again. Yeah, and good track 10.
Yeah, good S.
Yeah.
Right. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 songs on this album.
I mean, so you're saying there's no place for just laying down some groove and just kind of fiddling about. Well, yeah, you don't really care for Fish. I think we had that. I'm trying to think of a band that maybe did kind of mess around that you
I would be fine if they did this stuff in concert.
Okay.
But, I mean, like, it's basically an EP that has them screwing around on the sitar in other songs. Well, I mean, Candyman sort of feels like a Beastie Boys song. So I would cut that one some slack. It's sort of it's a song,
right? Well, and then Norwegian Wood that has its place.
It's a novelty cover.
Well, but I mean, I think what they're trying to do is turn cultural appropriation back on itself.
Sure, and I have no problem with the politics of this album.
Okay,
but I'm not going to give it a pass for not having enough songs just because they're. I get the Norwegian Wood and Punjabi. That's cool.
Okay. But you're saying so that belongs on the record, right? I mean, you're discounting that.
But it also could have just been like a hidden track. Like, it's extra.
Okay. So
we're pushing 6 songs.
Okay.
If you want to say that.
Right.
7 with Candyman.
Right.
Okay. So we're at 7 songs. I guess We're in Your Corner maybe is a song, but it's not. There's no English, so we're at 8. Would we say that?
Yeah. I mean, I think...
Can you play We're in Your Corner a little bit?
I have it. I like this song.
Let's listen to it a little bit instead of talking. Yeah, I do like this one, okay.
Yeah.
No, keep playing it. Let it start going so people can hear what the singing style is. Yeah, I would actually say that that one probably achieves what they're going for the most.
Okay.
Of the fusion of sort of songwriting and their cultural expression with the sitar being used in a new way.
Okay.
Not the way George Harrison used it. And
right.
Stuff.
Right.
Such.
I mean,
I think that I guess okay. So I listened to Brimful of Asha and I really liked it.
Yep.
And I learned to play it on the guitar. And the fact that I could learn to play it on the guitar in about 30 seconds in 1997, and it was hard for me to learn songs on the guitar back then.
Okay.
I was like, oh, this is not complicated at all.
Sure.
Right? So it's a pretty simple song, but I liked it. And it was funny.
Right, yeah.
Is Everybody Needs a Bosom for a Pillow, is that some sort of saying that's been translated?
No, I don't know, yeah.
But I think if I bought this album, it would have... The amount of... Like, when Butter the Soul started, I was like, okay, I was waiting for him to sing, waiting for something to happen.
Yeah.
And Chocolate is like that, too, and We're in Your Corner's good. Funky Days Are Back Again makes me want to punch him. I don't remember What Is Happening.
That's What's Happening in Detroit.
That's not a song. It's a drum and a guy singing and a sample.
Right. So I mean,
When the Light Appears, Boy, is basically they were like, we got Allen Ginsberg.
Yeah,
on our
right.
album.
Yeah, I mean, but the music's fine for that, though. I mean, you don't care for that. I mean, this is lo-fi as you'll get. Let's say.
Are you calling that music what we're listening to?
No.
No, thank you.
All right.
Coming up, or no, When the Light Appears, Boy. Is that?
That was When the Light Appears, Boys. Allen
Okay.
Ginsberg.
So play.
Here's coming up. And this yeah, that's what this is.
I feel like that's on in the background at a used clothing store in a college town.
Sure.
So that's fine, but
I mean,
I like an album full of songs.
This is it's less than a minute.
Okay. But some of these are 3 minutes doing that.
Yeah. And then you come
Good
into
to be
this.
on the road back. Yeah, the good shite.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay.
I think that Brimful of Asha prepares you for the Sleep on the Left Side, for that good shit song. As much as I hate to admit it, Funky Days.
Yeah.
I think Brimful of Asha and Funky Days are in the same, ballpark. Good to Be on the Road Back Home is a nice left turn, thoh, because it's
that was on many of a mixtape that I gave to people.
Yeah, because it's a nice ballad kind of a song, and it's got
Make Way for the Lady.
Yeah, and then Paula Frazier starts singing. I like that song a lot.
Yeah,
and it comes after kind of a slog of the instrumentals.
Good Shite is right before it, so
yeah.
You don't care for that one?
I think it's okay.
Okay,
but the Good to Be on the Road Back Home. By the time I got to that one, I was like, thank God for a song. Yeah, and then right into It's Indian Tobacco, My Friend, which is a 5-minute not song.
Yeah, just some droning. That's what this is. Yeah, I mean,
okay, do we buy an album of songs, or is it pure moods in here?
Artists can express both, Eric. It's okay for them to be able to explore different aspects of their creativity, right?
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah. No, don't. If you think I'm saying that people shouldn't be allowed to be creative, you're hearing me wrong. I'm just saying I don't want to listen to it.
Okay. Sure.
And if I had spent whatever it cost back then, $18 on this album, I would have been like, yeah, there's not enough songs.
Oh, sure. Yeah, there are enough songs. Some of them aren't... Candyman.
So Candyman, I'm fine with, because it's sort of like... This sort of reminds me of like a Beastie Boys type of jam. So it's a rap song.
Right.
Which is another left turn.
Yeah, exactly.
Really the only one on the album that sounds like this.
Right.
So they're definitely experimenting.
Sure.
I just glanced at Wikipedia just now and saw that it was
You
only...
can't just glance at Wikipedia.
I saw that it was not only critically acclaimed, but critically orgasmed over.
Sure.
Looks like Spin put it as the #1 album of the year.
Okay. I can see why music critics were,
Right, because music critics listen to so much of the same thing over and over again. And they'll listen to a band that comes out with something that sounds somewhat like their last album. They've heard 100 albums. So this is very different than that.
Yeah.
And so I do appreciate that quite a bit. Why have you listened to this countless times? What's your story with this?
I mean, so I think Brimful of Asha was huge amongst my friends. Everybody really was like, oh, that's a great song. And I think we just had this... I had this CD. I went out and bought it pretty much right away after that.
Okay.
And I just listened to it. It was one that was always in the rotation.
So did you never feel the way I did?
No.
You just liked having those instrumentals in between?
I was just able to groove to them, yeah.
Did you know what they were called?
The songs? No.
Like the groove ones? Did you ever put on one of the groove ones specifically?
No.
Or did you just play this whole thing all the way through a lot?
I did that, yeah. I never would be like, oh, yeah, let me listen to Chocolate, so...
Okay, I want to play this Funky Days so that other people can feel my pain.
Well, it seems like the funky days, they're back again. Funky days, they're back again. And we're in vogue again. Before the gurkers get called up again. Seems like the funky days, they're back again.
That's good stuff.
And the party's got a double E at the end again. We'll be armed in dungarine cords again.
Okay.
Yeah.
I listened to that song one time all the way through and tried to listen to it 2 more times all the way through. Ugh. Ugh, ugh, ugh. Gross. No, thank you.
Okay.
Sleep on the Left Side, that's a good song.
That's a great song. That was a good song to open it up with.
That's the album opener.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. This might be the best one.
It's good to be on the road back home again for this. But this
one...
second best.
This one would make you happy if you liked Brimful of Asha.
Yeah.
I think 1997 Eric would have loved this one.
Sure.
This reminds me of the 97 aesthetic. There was like space.
Yeah.
And who else would fit in that?
Long Pigs?
Oh yeah. Sort of reminds me of I Could Never Be Your Woman was popular at the same time. White Town.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. So yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, that's good. I think maybe I was just not prepared mentally. Like Sleep on the Left Side happened, and then Brimful of Ash, and I was like, whoa, I'm geared up for greatness! Sure. And it's like, ooh.
Yeah.
They hit me with the Butter, the Soul, and Chocolat, and then We're in Your Corner was like, I wasn't really prepared for this, but it's interesting. And then Funky Days was like,
and then
Days.
Then What Is Happening and The Light Appears Boy.
So I'm with your oldest son on those.
Yeah.
And then I'm lukewarm on number 10, The Good Shite.
Yeah.
But then Gonna Be on the Road Back Home, good. Okay, so it's got peaks and valleys for me, to be sure. And then Norwegian Wood at least is appropriately placed as the last song of the album. And it is a little bit of a one-trick pony. Like, as soon as you realize what's happening, you're like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, but
it's not like you're going to listen to it over and over again.
People can do a Beatles cover, though.
I'm not a big fan of any Beatles cover.
Oh, okay.
I've never really liked... Okay, that's not really true. I like Fiona Apple's Across the Universe.
Okay.
I think that's it.
Okay.
So the Amy Mann's Two of Us is good.
The Breeders do a good version of, what is it? It's not Why Don't We Do It in the Road. It's from the White Album. It's
Everybody's got something to hide except for me and my monkey.
I'm So Tired?
Revolution 9.
Somebody does I'm So Tired. And it's a girl singer.
Happiness is a Warm Gun.
No. Let me look it up. But it's pretty good. They do a good
Glass
version.
Onion.
I wish. It is Happiness is a Warm Gun.
Yeah. So, Happiness is a Warm Gun is one of my favorite Beatles songs. So I don't want anyone to change that.
And I think it's Kristen Hirsch does I'm So Tired.
I think that that song still blows my mind that came out the year it did.
I'm So Tired? Or Happiness is a Warm Gun?
Oh,
yeah.
Because it rocks, and it's funny, and it's trenchant. And I just love John's vocals on that.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's just buried on that album. It's not even like one of the ones that everybody knows.
No, right.
I love that song.
Well, all right.
I sure do like the Beatles.
Exactly. I think Cornershop takes some Beatle influence. I mean, that's why we're talking about it.
Sure.
Yeah, Norwegian Wood.
And it's fascinating to think about like you're saying, the cultural reappropriation there.
Yeah.
Like you might have been even exposed. Like it'd be interesting to hear. I don't know how to say his name. Tinder.
I think it's Tinder. I've heard
Tinder sing. It'd be interesting to hear him say like, if he grew up hearing the sitar in both places, or did he hear the Beatles first, or did he hear the Beatles like a lot later?
Yeah, I think he had heard him. Well, I mean, like, so Brimful of Asha, when he's talking about all those music labels, those are Indian labels that he had grew up with.
What's a Brimful of Asha?
So Asha somebody is a sitar player, and so he was, a brimful. A cupful.
I see.
Yeah.
Filled to the brim with Asha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Well, Gary.
Yep.
That was the closest we've ever come to fighting.
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
I was worried I was going to hurt your feelings at a certain point.
No, you're fine.
The track Candyman was used in a Nike commercial featuring LeBron James.
Ooh, the king.
Good Shit was featured in a commercial for Target.
With
the chorus being altered to read "Good Stuff."
I remember that. Of course, remember that. I was like, what?
So the rating system is 4 stars, well-deserved classic status, which I do think some people would say that it is a classic.
Yeah.
3 stars would be like, yeah, this is a pretty good album. It holds up. It's good. 2 stars is... so that's why I haven't listened to this in a while. 1 star, we were young. What do we know?
Right.
We were kids. Gary.
So I hadn't listened to this in a while. It did get, dropped from the rotation, of course, but...
You over-listened to it in the 90s.
Yeah, re-listening to it. I would give it definitely 3 stars. I could maybe go to 3.5. I mean, I don't think it's a 4-star album. I wouldn't call it that, but 3 stars. 3 stars, and if you wanted to twist my arm, I'd say 3.5.
Yeah. I would give it 2 stars as an album. Mm-hmm. Probably 3 stars if they turned it into an EP and dumped Funky Days Are Back
Sure,
again.
yeah. So there's some great songs on it, but as a... See, I guess where...
I could harvest greatness from this album
Yeah.
and turn it into an EP. And so I would say... And this is a band that it's prolific. They have tons of other albums,
you know
including
what? So-
recent stuff.
And I got their next album right after this, and also really enjoyed that. But then I went back and got the album previous, Woman's Gotta Have It, before this. I got that. So those 3 Cornershop albums.
I think that this album was one where they really changed their style. And
Yeah, so
started
Woman's Gotta
explaining-
Have It is a little it's not as good. But then Hand Cream for a Generation after this, I enjoyed.
And then Judy Sucks a Lemon.
And then I was done. I didn't even know that was the name of their next album.
Well, it was 7 years later.
Okay.
Judy Sucks a Lemon for Breakfast is 2009.
Wow.
2011, Cornershop and the Double O Groove of. 2012, Urban Turban. 2013, Snap Your Cookies. For some reason, this YR thing for you.
Yeah, they did a year. Yeah.
And I guess Dear Know What I Mean, they did that too. Sorry. The Hot for May Sound, 2013, and then 2015, Hold On, It's Easy. And then they have an EP out. See, they know how to do an EP.
Yeah.
Wop the Groove, 2018. So
they're still doing
rocking it.
Yep.
So I'm curious. I'm cautiously curious. I think I would like to listen to some playlists.
Yeah.
I don't trust them to fill an album correctly.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I would definitely be interested to hear why this album turned out this way with these songs. Like they felt like that was just cool, or like
Yeah, probably.
I mean, like, because it's obviously 2 totally different kinds of tracks. The ones with chorus, verse, chorus, and the ones that are just grooving. But, I mean, does Fish do that? Do they have groove tracks on the album, or
no.
they jam live?
Yeah, they just kind of jam live, I think. They don't, they got songs on the albums.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
All right, man.
All right, man.
Well, that was Cornershop's When I Was Born for the 7th Time. We will come back and we're going to do a left turn.
Yep.
Talk about a mainstream studio comedy.
Right.
Bye.
In the quiet town of Greenleaf, Indiana, a high school teacher is about to be married.
After 3 long years, and I'm sure a lot of you were asking, what was the problem?
You said it.
A former student is about to be honored.
And the winner is Cameron Drake to serve and protect.
But for Howard Brackett,
I'd like to dedicate this whole night to a great guy and a great teacher, to Howard Brackett from Greenleaf, Indiana.
a bombshell is about to drop.
And he's gay.
First I was afraid, I was petrified, kept thinking I could never. Howard, what is he doing?
Welcome back to my so-called podcast. I'm Gary Linton.
And I'm Eric Spiegel.
Hey.
Welcome back, Gary.
Hey. Thanks, Eric.
What'd you do during the break?
Nothing. Sat here and I was waiting.
What'd you do, listener?
Oh, interesting.
Oh, wow.
That's
Really?
real.
You had time to do that?
Wow.
So we're going to shift gears. We're going to shift gears from the music world to the movie world.
Like we do every week? Every other week?
That's what we do.
Yep.
And to get excited about movies, we're going to talk about the top 10 movies.
Oh, yeah. Well, first we can go and we're going to discuss In and Out by Frank Oz, from director Frank Oz. That was released the same week Cornershop released When I Was Born for the 7th time.
Or does this kind of movie kind of direct itself?
Yeah. Frank Oz had to put the camera somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. You had to wait for the magic hour to happen over and over again.
Yeah. It's fine.
Anyway, Frank Oz made Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. I got nothing bad to say about Frank Oz. The score?
Yeah. No, he has another good movie, really good movie.
Frank Oz is in Trading Places.
And
La Boheme?
Like no, I don't know. I'll look it up.
He says La Boheme, and Dan Aykroyd goes La Boheme. It's an opera.
Well, and Frank Oz is the voice of Yoda, of course, so he gets a pass there.
Yeah, I never understood how being the voice of Yoda translated and getting to direct movies.
Well, he directed Muppet movies.
Oh,
Jim Henson,
like episodes of the
show. I think he also has a co-directing Great Muppet Caper or something. Let's see. He did Muppets Take Manhattan. He did by himself, and I think Dark Crystal.
Know that.
He did. He also did the Dark Crystal.
Oh, Muppets Take Manhattan.
Yep.
Well, is that a co-directing?
No. So, Dark Crystal is a co-directing with Jim Henson, but Muppets Take Manhattan is Frank Oz by himself.
Oh, okay. So the least of...
Oh, what about Bob?
Yeah,
was the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. So he translated the Muppets thing into Little Shop of Horrors.
Which
then
is a
Dirty
fine.
Rotten Scoundrels. Then What About Bob?
Yep.
And then...
House Sitter,
which I think I saw once.
Yeah.
The Indian in the Cupboard, which I'd watch that with my kids. I've never seen it. To be continued.
Sure.
In and Out, and then Bowfinger, which is actually quite funny.
Yeah, Bowfinger's pretty good.
Chubby Rain. That's the name of the movie.
Yeah.
But then basically...
I always remember...
that's the end of his career.
The joke from Bowfinger is like, Eddie Murphy's like, he don't even speak English good. So, that one always stuck with me.
Keep it together. Yeah, so Frank Oz.
Yep.
That was a good roundup of his
career.
Yeah,
so, but what were the movies, what else was out that week? That In and Out was out.
In the theater.
Yes.
What was out?
Right.
Who's on first?
No, he's on second. Wait.
I don't know. Third base.
Third base.
Number 10, Men in Black. Still out for the 12th week. The blockbuster. Number 9, Get Off My Plane.
Air Force One.
Nice.
Yeah.
Number 8, Money Talks.
Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson, right?
No, that's Money Train. I think Money Talks
is Martin Lawrence.
Is
Charlie Sheen.
Heather and
Chris Tucker.
Yeah, correct. So that was Chris Tucker's sort of first big movie.
Yeah. Well, I think Friday became before.
Oh, Friday,
yeah.
then that, and then The Fifth Element. Number 7, I shaved my head for this.
No.
G.I. Jane.
Oh, okay. I don't think that's a quote in the movie.
Number 6, 1,000 Acres, which all I know about that is that it has Jessica Lange in it.
Okay.
It has Michelle Pfeiffer in it.
Sold.
And Entertainment Weekly gave it an F.
Oh, wow. Ouch.
So it popped out to me as a youth because I got Entertainment Weekly every week, and they didn't give too many movies an F. No, so that was something. Number 5, The Full Monty, which was 6 weeks out of the theater at this point. Big hit.
Yeah.
I went to see that movie at the theater with my mother.
Ha!
And also to this week's movie I went to see with my mother.
Nice.
Number 4, L.A. Confidential, opening at number 4.
Previous My So-Called podcast.
Opening in 769 screens. Not to be... it was scooped by Wishmaster. In 2,500 screens.
Wow.
Number 2, The Game, was still puzzling people around the country.
David
I saw that the
Fincher's
weekend it came out, I remember. Because I was like, David Fincher, David Fincher,
Yeah.
David Fincher. Number 1, In and Out, opening with almost $20 million. It's opening weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, number
Wow.
1.
Well, all right, yeah. So that's In and Out. So
That's the box office.
Yeah. Okay. Eric, so this is a movie that kind of has a very slight premise. It was the impetus of this is Tom Hanks won an Academy Award for his performance of a gay man in the movie Philadelphia. Scott Rudin? No. I think it was Scott Rudin's the producer. Who wrote this movie? Rudnick?
Paul Rudnick.
Yeah, Paul Rudnick saw that and said, you know what would be funny?
Well, Tom Hanks gave a tearful speech when he won for Philadelphia.
Right. Yeah.
And he mentioned his high school drama teacher, Raleigh Farnsworth, and his former classmate, John Gilkerson. And he mentioned 2 of the finest gay Americans, 2 wonderful men that I had the good fortune to be associated with.
Right. So Paul Rudnick heard that and was like, "Hey, wouldn't it be funny if he outed somebody during that?" that was the whole thing that caused this script.
Right.
And so it's it's flimsy premise, and
it's from great things from a mustard seed.
Right. So either this movie gets by on the performances of its actors, because it's quite a cast, or it doesn't even get by with that.
I think it gets by on gets by on the performance of its actors, by which I mean comedic performances by the actors, for the most part, and on charm. I think it's a likable movie.
And I guess what I was going with, I feel like the actors are all charming,
right?
In that
they are laid back. They know the kind of movie they're in.
Exactly.
So this is probably Frank Oz's doing, actually.
Okay.
And the actors, obviously, but the tone of the film is pretty much perfect in every scene. Like, it's a good, laid back, likable, funny movie that isn't going for the jugular.
No.
And is very tame in a lot of ways. Except for the eating disorder jokes about very tasteless.
Yeah.
And that character, the supermodel character, is just terrible.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I think it was a different time.
Yeah. Well, and I will turn it back on you since I've answered your question. It was a different time.
Yeah, it was.
So we had Hollywood that was not making movies about gay people.
No.
And if they did, it had to be the focus of the movie.
Right.
If a gay person were in a movie, they couldn't just be like a gay guy who's a cop. And that's it. It had to be the focus of the movie.
The story is like,
and I think before that, it was going to be really, really indie movies that were about gay people.
Right. Yeah.
And not that early, not that far behind this was that the case.
Yeah.
Like, it's edgy because it's about gay people.
Right.
And it opens in 4 theaters.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Longtime Companion, or Love, Valor, Compassion.
I mean, it was a lot of there were a lot of plays. I remember like Jeffrey and that.
Boys in the Band.
Yeah, there was plays that became independent movies. They would make a lot of those.
So, I think that the time informs the tone, in the sense that if it's going to be a Hollywood movie, it's got to be the most mainstream, middle-of-the-road Hollywood comedy that's very likable.
Right.
If it's going to be about somebody that's coming out of the closet.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think
so. And
I think it pulls it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
For those modest aims, it's about 85 minutes long.
Yeah, I think it... Well, yeah, 85, 90 minutes long.
It's funny.
Yep, there's some jokes.
I definitely laughed out loud many times.
Yeah.
So we should run down the plot real fast. Yeah,
I agree.
Run down the plot. So we've got our main character,
Kevin Kline.
Howard Brackett.
Yeah.
He's an
English teacher who in a small Indiana town. And they set up right away that there was a famous alum of the high school who's
played by Matt Dillon.
Matt Dillon. He's making a splash in Hollywood. He's up for
Cameron Drake. What was Cameron Drake when he was here?
So, and then they also introduced the fact that Kevin Kline's marrying Joan Cusack. You know.
Cameron Drake won the Best Actor Academy Award for playing the gay soldier in To Serve and Protect.
Yeah, that was those were the best jokes of the movie.
So here's the clip of To Serve and Protect, and they cut to like 7 minutes of almost the whole movie of this To Serve and Protect. That's pretty funny. Do you love me like I love you, buddy? You love me like a brother? No. You love me like a comrade in arms? No.
You love me like a cousin? So yeah, there was some joke, and then he's like, his buddy loses his legs. He has to be in a wheelchair.
And then he just walks away from.
Well, let's get going.
That was like an airplane level.
Yeah,
joke.
that was.
So there's some jokes in this movie that are broad like that.
Right.
And I guess that's where
Yeah.
they get the tone a little off, because it's like there's a movie to be made about somebody who is at odds with should I stay in the closet and keep this life, or should I blow it all up? And this movie allows that movie to be made in the gentlest way possible. And then around the edges, there's like some really broad stabs at comedy.
Yeah. So Matt Dillon outs, you heard in the clip, outs Kevin Kline's character.
Right.
But even to Kevin Kline, he wasn't in the closet.
So at that point, you don't know as a viewer. You think, I mean, for the first 45 minutes of the movie, it's either is he an effeminate, neat, clean guy,
right, like Lyle, the effeminate heterosexual,
or is he actually gay? And that conflict is actually very of its time.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a Seinfeld gag about that. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Which was, you're neat, you're clean, you're single.
Yeah.
And there's it's kissing offensive a little bit, like watch the wrists and a little prissy and all that.
And I think you can kind of get. I mean, while that's offensive, a little offensive, I agree.
It's offensive now.
Yeah, and I think even for that place, the setting, it works because he's in a high school in the middle of Indiana, and so you can kind of. I mean, it's believable, even though it's offensive.
Yeah, we probably should have done this. So, happy Pride Month, by the way, everybody. We're doing this for Pride Month because all the guys in Cornershop are gay, too, right?
No, I don't think so.
And they're gay.
You can't say that.
Well, they're LGBTQ something.
Sure, yeah, right.
Heteros in there, right?
Yeah. No, it's not.
I'd like to ask a gay person,
well,
if this is believable it's believable with the plot, but like, would it be believable that you're not out to yourself?
Paul Rudnick is a gay man, the writer of this movie. So, and you're right. Yeah, I mean, it would be difficult to imagine somebody in 2018 not being 45 and not knowing that they're gay. Right.
But I suppose you could argue there's an element of denial in Indiana that's so great that the closet is so...
Mike Pence was their governor.
Right.
So...
Please.
Exactly.
Please.
Yeah. I didn't mean to derail
there's a little bit of magical thinking in this. Like he gets there's a very well lauded and pointed to 12-second kiss between Tom Selleck and Kevin Kline, which was not something you saw in movies.
No.
Which now is like, whatever, it's just a part of the movie.
Yeah.
As, you know, I've seen men kissing for 12 seconds every day of my life.
Oh, okay. You're living a more exciting life than I am.
And that sort of magically lets him know.
Yeah, it kind of...
It's also not very cool. He didn't have consent to kiss him.
No, exactly. That's true.
But then that sort of changes him a little bit. But I guess what they're trying to get at is he's never allowed him to admit what he's actually attracted to. Anyway, so there's another outing. He outs himself.
Oh, right, at the wedding.
At his own wedding.
Yeah, that's... And then Joan Cusack has some good performance there where she's upset about, you couldn't have told me.
Yeah. So she gets to ham it up very hysterically for the next 30 minutes.
Yes.
And that's comedy gold.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
When she asked Tom Selleck to have sex.
And after he tells her he's gay, she runs out into the parking lot
and
screams to the heavens, is everybody gay? But the funnier thing for me is she's sitting at the bar in her wedding dress, and he sidles up to the bar and she's like, how you doing? He's like, it's been a rough week. And then she just turns and looks at him like, really?
Yeah,
you think it's been a rough week?
And especially that sets up because the bartender, she comes in the wedding dress and the bartender's like, oh yeah, here, what do you want? Vodka? So it's like people are able to...
That's the level of a comedy we're working
right
with, but it's funny. She's funny.
Yep. And Matt Dillon's pretty funny.
Matt Dillon is pretty funny. Like he's sort of like a airheaded Brad Pitt or Keanu Reeves type.
Right, yeah.
Man, well,
I was a D student, or I was a C student. Now I'm an actor, but I don't think you can catch gay.
And I love that he comes back to town and calls him Mr. Brackett.
Yeah, right. And then Bob Newhart as a principal. I mean, he's got a small role, but yeah, he's a ringer.
Yeah, there's some funny stuff with Bob Newhart, who is really the only villain.
Yeah, and right.
And real pussycat in the end, that way. But I mean, I think that if we were going to talk about problematic portions of it, it would be like, yeah, if this happened, this would be okay, is probably not the truth. Like, he does lose his job for coming out of the closet, and that ain't cool.
No, that's not cool, and of course that is, illegal.
Now.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Right. I mean, I think it was around this time where people were beginning to pass the laws that made that illegal.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was.
Maybe not.
In the mid to early 90s, which is blowing our younger listeners' minds, I'm sure.
Exactly.
All you millennials that listen to this podcast religiously.
Yep.
It's pretty shocking to think that, they could be like, well, it's just not our values.
Right. Yeah.
To have the most well-liked teacher and coach teach at our school.
Yeah, kicked out.
And that's a pretty dark subplot that gets sort of hand-waved away at the end,
Yeah.
I am Spartacus ending, as a friend of the show, Alicia Spiegel, said.
Oh,
are they going to Spartacus this out?
Right. Kathy pointed out, it's like, why is the mailman at the graduation?
I deliver his mail and I'm gay.
Why is the hairstylist at the local high school graduation?
It's like a local high school It's like a local high school football game. That's what everybody does on Friday night.
Oh, and we got to shout out to Debbie Reynolds, two-time ISOCALL podcast champion.
So she actually milked Mother to get into this, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because she hadn't been in anything for 30 or 40 years.
Oh, right.
And then she got a lot of notice, and then she got just basically a normal little role in this.
Yeah.
That's a little delightful little scene where Debbie Reynolds' character plays Howard's mother, and she has been waiting her whole life for this
the wedding. Yeah,
exactly. She says it's like
how
crack.
could I do this to my mother?
Or she says it's like a heroin.
Right.
Setting the place cards and blah, blah, blah. But there's a scene after he comes out at the wedding and ruins it where she's sitting around with all of her little lady friends.
Oh, yeah.
And they decide they're going to come out of the closet with their secrets they've never told anyone. And it's like freeing for all of them. And it's pretty cute.
It's adorbs. Totes adorbs.
But I mean, like, the idea that this... So, I think that being gay is being attracted to men.
Yes.
Right, if you're a man.
Well, you know
it
what?
It doesn't have anything to do with liking Gypsy...
Barbra Streisand.
Or liking Barbra Streisand. Or having a limp wrist.
Right.
Or liking window treatments.
Or being neat, yeah.
All that stuff could be in a heterosexual man.
That's correct, yeah.
Right? I like some of Barbra Streisand's film work.
I was even like, I had seen this before, but I was trying to be like, you know, with his relationship, like at the first part, his relationship with Joan Cusack seems pretty solid, and so you're like, well, I didn't remember that they had not had sex for the 3 years that they were together. Right. So I was like, well, what is he? He's not bisexual, right? I guess, did he... And so then it comes out, though, they didn't have sex for 3 years.
Right, and so I do think that the piece that's obviously missing, and that could maybe be because of it being a mainstream movie, is that really homosexuality is about sexuality.
Yeah, exactly.
And they don't address sexuality very much.
No, it's just hinted at around the corners about 3 years.
Right,
you know.
It's like a 1950s movie about straight sex.
Right, yeah.
In a way. And so they... I just wanted to show you this picture of Alison Brie.
I appreciate
she went away.
Yeah.
But they sort of... when they do start to talk about sex, it's like it does fall apart a little bit. Like, come on, Joan Cusack, you thought that a grown man with a job would date you for 3 years. I mean, you'd have to have an explanation for that. You'd have to be super religious, and that would be like your explanation for it.
Yeah,
you wouldn't just say, "I thought ... Right?
Right. Yeah. That's the part.
So they didn't address sexuality very well, and I feel like it's a movie about sexuality, and so then they have to connect gay stereotypes to being gay, which is sort of like a straw man, or I don't know, but I guess the writer knew that he was doing that, and they have a little fun with it, you know, like he tries to listen to a cassette that's like, be a man,
exactly.
Don't tuck your shirt in, and don't dance,
right.
Like, men are no fun,
right?
You know, and it has a little bit of a light touch where he goes to the bachelor party, and his buddies want to watch Barbra Streisand movies. Like, they like him.
That's the joke,
right?
Like, I don't want to watch Funny Girl. Let's watch Yentl again.
Right, Yentl sucks.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's how he tries to goad him into a fight.
Right.
She was too old for the part. Sean Hatosy. Did you notice that he was in this?
No, who's that?
He was the guy Jack, who was going to go to Indiana State University.
Oh, yeah. He's been in other things.
Yeah, and I asked friend of the show, Alicia Spiegel, like, who is that guy?
I know.
She's like, he's that guy. He was in lots of stuff.
I know Lauren Ambrose.
Lauren Ambrose, yeah.
From
apparently
Can't Hardly Wait.
So,
and
6 Feet Under.
6 Feet Under, yeah.
So apparently Sean Hatosy was in 6 Feet Under as well.
Oh, okay.
6 Feet Under, John Q. Lots of stuff at the time. Was he in Can't Hardly Wait?
Maybe. Everybody was in that one.
Yeah. So he was sort of like he was in Home for the Holidays, apparently, as Counter Boy.
I'm surprised I don't remember.
He's in a lot of television work still.
Oh, good for him.
He's known for something called Animal Kingdom on TNT.
Okay.
And something called Southland on TNT before.
Oh, I've heard of Southland. That's, yeah.
He's getting kind of older now. Because
sure, we all are, Eric.
Not me.
No, yeah, you look just like you did in 97.
So, should we rate it?
Yep.
So, rating would be well-deserved classic status, would be 4 stars. 3 stars would be like, it's a pretty solid
pretty good
film.
Yeah.
Take over.
2 stars is, that's why we haven't watched it in a while. And 1 star is, we were young, we were idiots. We thought this was a good movie, but it's a bad movie.
It actually turns out not to be a movie at all.
Yeah, right. So,
where would you land?
I think I would give In and Out a solid 2.5, maybe 3 stars.
I would give it a solid 2.5.
Yeah, it is
rock solid 2.5. No way would I give this 2 stars.
No,
but it's not quite a 3-star movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Hasn't aged particularly well.
Yeah,
but John Cusack, Kevin Kline. I got to give Kevin Kline a shout out for carrying this movie on his shoulders. He has a light touch. He's very likable.
Yeah,
he never falls into.
It was pretty good casting in that. I mean, the whole thing is great.
I love Kevin Kline.
He's great.
I love everything.
St. Louis's own Kevin Kline.
I want to watch him in things all the time. I wish he were cast in movies instead of most other actors. There's a scene in this movie where the preacher is going through the to have and to hold forever and he starts gritting his teeth. And his upper lip goes up and his eyes start to panic, and it's just quietly changing in his face. That's so funny.
Yeah.
He's hilarious. He's really good in this. So yeah, 2.5. It did 2 3/4.
Sure. Yep.
All
I'll do
right.
it. Thanks for
coming, Gary.
Thanks for listening to another episode of My So-Called Podcast, where we take you back to the 90s.
It's your 90s time machine.
Yep.
Hop on in.
Yeah, we're on the internet.
We're on the internet, the web, the Twitter.
Yep.
The Apple Podcast.
Yeah, subscribe.
Share this podcast with a few of your friends if you like it.
Yeah.
If they like the 90s. We'll be back in 2 weeks. You will be back in 2 weeks. We're going to have a guest next time.
Hopefully.
Sayonara, suckers.
All right. Thanks. Bye.